my news is insignificant, to be
Yeah.
honest. I almost feel uncomfortable even talking about it. You know, there had been a lot of talk whether or not I was going to run for Judge Donalty's position. I'd kind of made up my mind a couple months ago, but since I wasn't running, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But I kept getting a lot of inquiries, and so I figured I'd just, you know, put it out there and just get it straightened out that I did not plan on running. You know, and honestly, even if I had planned on running, I don't know if I could have this year, to be honest with you, with
Yeah, you
the
have a
Word of
lot
Life
on your plate
case.
here. Yeah.
And in a way, this works out because I'm involved in a lot of things that I didn't really want to have to give up. I'm fortunate that, you know, there's two candidates out there that are both highly qualified to hold the position.
Yeah.
So.
I think a lot of people don't know some of those other positions that you hold, some of the boards on which you sit, so if you could just tell people.
Sure. The president-elect of the New York State District Attorneys Association, so that keeps me pretty busy. One of the things we're working on right now is there was a scandal down at the New York State Police Crime Lab where some of the analysts had shared answers for a test. That's something that we're working on. How are we going to handle that throughout the state? Many of these analysts have been retained by the state police because they could not fire them because of union reasons. So I'm on that. I'm also a commissioner on the Commission on Forensic Sciences, which unfortunately I just saw on Friday one of the other commissioners on there. The superintendent of the New York State Police just resigned, so that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
He's a very good guy. Joe was also a commissioner. But this Commission on Forensic Science, what we do is every public lab in New York State has to be accredited, and the commission makes sure that whatever takes place in the lab, that it's thoroughly reviewed. So, for example, the issue with the New York State Police and the sharing of answers. Anytime something goes wrong at a lab, it has to be reviewed. And I never appreciated it until I was a commissioner, but the level of review that goes on, which should make the public happy to know that, you know, for example, if an analyst makes a mistake, that is thoroughly vetted. It's not just, oh, well, you know, it was just a mistake. So that's what we do on the commission. And I'm also serving currently on my second committee on the National Academy of Sciences, which one of the things the first committee I was on, we looked at eyewitness identification, and which is a really pressing thing in the criminal justice system right now, because historically everybody thinks eyewitness identification is great. And it is, if it's like, say, if I saw Jeff, or I saw you, or I saw Kristine. I mean, the people you know and recognize, that's different. But when it's a stranger on stranger never seen before, the reliability of that is very suspicious.
It's very interesting because there's a, who's the guy that's coming to Hamilton, the astronomer?
Neil deGrasse
Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm going to go see that tomorrow night. He talks about, there's a whole section I was watching on YouTube just recently, talks about being an eyewitness, and how really when you take a look at it, one of the least reliable sources, and you would know this as a DA, is the eyewitness. And I saw a program on Discovery Channel that actually they did a mock crime scene, and they took 10 people that were all there, this mock scene, and almost no one got it right. It's incredible.
It is incredible, and you know, I can think of a murder case that I prosecuted where there was 4 eyewitnesses, and all 4 of them told a different story, and none of them were lying. They just saw it different. They had the wrong jackets on people, the type of hair, who was taller and who was shorter, and all of them were trying their best. They had no reason to lie. And you know, and other things that happen, especially with eyewitnesses, usually it's in the middle of a traumatic event. And if you just think about, in Will's situation, the eyewitnesses to that, I mean, these are things that are happening that are very, you know, shocking, and disturbing, and scary.
Adrenaline is running. People are afraid. There's other things that are going on. So it's tough to get. There were a lot of eyewitnesses here that we're hearing from. In this case, so.